Browns fans, welcome to the fourth straight victory edition of Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas. And Joe, 4 in a row feels awful good for the guys in brown and orange, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Those guys have got to be feeling good. The longest winning streak the Browns have had since 2009. I remember that season very well, but I think this one might end a little bit differently.
Absolutely, and the Browns 4-1 for the first time since 1994. And on today's show, we'll look back at that Colts win. We'll preview Steelers week. Of course we're going to. This is the biggest week. It's the Browns and the Steelers. We're going to get to that. We've got Denzel Ward mic'd up. We've got Rashard Higgins in the player spotlight. Plus, we go into the film room and break down some of the biggest plays in that game against the Colts. But now, let's welcome in the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, in this week's game review presented by Serpentine Chevrolet. And Coach, 1-0 again for the fourth straight week. What was the key to success against a very tough Colts team?
Yeah, you said it, Nathan. A very tough team. We knew it was going to be a physical battle, and it was. It lived up to the hype. I think the key was guys stepping up. That was the story, and I agree with that story. Just the guys that were able to come in when their number was called. They didn't know they were going to play that day, and all of a sudden you are, and to be able to perform the way they did, I thought was really impressive.
Coach, much more grinding performance in the run game this past week against the Colts, who had one of the best run defenses in the NFL coming in. What did you learn about your rushing attack, being able to rush for 124 yards on 33 carries against a really stiff defensive opponent?
You know, I think we learned that those were hard yards, and that's okay. We'll take them any which way we can get them. Rushing for 300, a couple weeks before was great. But this is the National Football League, and the teams you're going up against week in and week out, there's some tough defenses. So they're hard yards. We'll earn them. Sometimes you gain a few more in the second half as you wear a front down. But was really proud of the guys, how they grinded. They grinded through that run game.
Coach, as you well know, nobody in Cleveland has any time for yellow towels. They certainly don't have any time for yellow flags either, the penalties. And they were down to 2 against the Colts. And one of our listeners, user Chris Mann from Reddit, wants to know what has been the biggest contributing factor in keeping the penalties to a minimum this year.
You know, the penalties that we really concern ourselves with are the ones that happen pre-snap and then after the play. Those are the ones that we just can't have. So I think offensively, with no penalties at all, with the amount of shifts and motions that we're utilizing, for them to have 0, that was a big emphasis going into it, and the guys followed through. And I think it speaks to guys understanding what they're supposed to do. The coaches are doing a great job explaining the system, explaining their roles so that they can go out and play fast. And then after the whistle, just making sure that we're playing with discipline for 60 minutes.
Rashard Higgins showed up big for the Browns last weekend against the Colts. 3 catches and a touchdown. What type of emotional boost does he provide on the sideline as a popular player in that receiver room?
He is a popular player, and the guys really respond to him. He does a great job in the meeting rooms, does a great job out on the practice field. He's a guy that we knew his opportunity was going to come here sooner than later. And it just was a matter of getting the right number of active guys up, and we knew his number was going to be called with Cordero Hodge getting hurt the week before. So he practiced really hard. He was prepared. And then there's obviously a rapport between him and the quarterback, and made a nice play there down in the red zone.
Coach, when you're the #1 scoring offense in the NFL over the last 4 games, you're going to get a lot of questions about the offense. But I want to ask you about this defense. What a performance in the second half, putting 9 points on the board themselves, limiting the Colts to nothing but field goals after that first possession touchdown. What did you see from your defense, and can you build on that going forward?
Yeah, really proud of the defense this last game. I think that's a good offense that was coming at them. The run game, the pass game, I thought that was going to be a big challenge, and the guys responded. And to be able to continue to take the ball away is a huge deal. We keep talking about that turnover margin. Typically, that's the stat that determines wins and losses. And for them to go continually raking and stripping and doing everything to get that ball out, getting their hands on the ball in the pass game is a huge deal. And I think that's got to be a part of our DNA, and it's who we are.
Coach, congratulations on 1-0 for the 4th straight week. We'll talk with you later in the program about your first taste of the Browns-Steelers rivalry when we preview that game. But coming up, we're going to stay focused on this Browns defense with one of the stars, Denzel Ward, mic'd up when Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, returns.
You know how these things start. You hear Wendy's is offering free any-size hot coffee with any breakfast sandwich. So you have to tell a friend. They get a fresh brew cup and tell another friend. And so on and so on. So get to Wendy's for free coffee with breakfast.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Because of this, we built the most powerful Ford Explorer ever, with 400 horsepower. Because of this, we built Ford Expedition with best-in-class towing and plenty of room for crew and cargo. Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
No matter how early you're up or how late you're running, when you start your day at Speedway, we've got what you need to have a good morning. We've got it hot, we've got it cold, we've got it sprinkled, we've got it ready. We're here to make your morning a little better, because when you get off to a better start, you go on to a better day. The official convenience store of the Cleveland Browns.
I am a family man first. I am a motivator. I am a passionate teacher. I am Kevin Stefanski, and I am a voter.
There is no better time than right now for your actions to matter. The voter turnout rate for the 2016 U.S. presidential election was only 61%. Get involved. Unite together. Be the solution by becoming a voter.
You know how these things start. You hear Wendy's is offering free any-size hot coffee with any breakfast sandwich. So you have to tell a friend. They get a fresh brew cup and tell another friend. And so on and so on. So get to Wendy's for free coffee with breakfast.
Welcome back to Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas and Joe. Denzel Ward on his way to becoming a Browns legend. Kind of getting that respect. When you don't see a lot of targets go at a cornerback, that means the other team game plans away from him. The ultimate sign of respect. What have you seen from Denzel here in year 3?
Yeah, Denzel Ward has been lights out for the Browns. He's definitely above and beyond the expectations right now that the Browns had for him when they drafted him in the first round, because he's become that island cornerback, a lot like a guy like Darrelle Revis, who was drafted in my draft class, where you can take him on your defense and you can just X out the other team's #1 receiver, because you know he's going to be able to handle him one-on-one, and that quarterback is not going to even try his side of the field the entire game. And it really opens up your entire game plan on defense and allows you to do a lot of things, rotate coverage to other guys, blitz people, and you don't ever have to worry about that side of the field. It's a tremendous asset, and Denzel Ward is playing great football for the Cleveland Browns right now.
He is, and big-time players often make big-time plays in big-time situations. That's what Denzel did with that interception to ice the Browns' win over the Dallas Cowboys. Now we've got Denzel. You want to see him? No, you want to hear from him. Hear from him now in Mic'd Up, presented by Ruoff Mortgage.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to FirstEnergy Stadium. It's week 5 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one for you today.
Hey, communicate out there. We all wrong, we all right, you feel me? Let's go. Hey, if it's a time to get active, it's right now. Yes. Time to get active is right now. Hey. And I am ready to go make a play. Let's make a play. We need to get this ball. We need that ball. We need the ball. We need the ball.
Rivers back to pass. Late pressure coming. Steps up, throws. That's going to be picked off. They got it down the sideline.
Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie.
Picked off by Ronnie Harrison. It's a pick six. Touchdown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pick 60. Pick 60.
Back to pass. Garrett's coming hard. He's up in the pocket. He throws down the middle of the field and picked off. The Browns got it. It's Sheldrick Redwine.
Yes, sir, Rick. Yes, sir, Rick.
The Browns are winners again. This is getting to be fun.
4-1 feels pretty good. It does. Feels great.
You love to hear that from Denzel Ward, and I'm sure, Joe, he's excited to see Ben Roethlisberger again. It was Denzel Ward's NFL debut. 2 interceptions against Roethlisberger at FirstEnergy Stadium. He didn't get to see Ben last year. We all know that, but this is going to be another good matchup and an opportunity for Denzel Ward.
You always think about those welcome to the NFL moments being bad for a rookie, but in Denzel's case, his welcome to the NFL moments was picking off Big Ben, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, from the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple times, and I'm sure Big Ben is going to think twice about picking his side of the field on Sunday.
Denzel Ward brings the energy, and so do you. 12,000 strong at FirstEnergy Stadium last week, and we want to find out who has the best fan energy. Browns fans, FirstEnergy wants to see your best fan energy this season. All you have to do is submit a picture or video displaying your Browns fandom using the hashtag BestFanEnergy on social media for a chance to win 2 tickets to a Browns game this season. When we return, we're going to walk that red carpet when Rashard Higgins stops by in the player spotlight here on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in, getting some brownie points, or witnessing a miracle. Sorry, Jess. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell.
For as long as I can remember, I've watched the sunrise and I've watched the sunset, fueling my drive, feeding the fire within. Embrace it. Harness it.
It's time to let the sun fuel your life. It's time to own your power.
The door to a car you've been saving for. The door to a personal loan that feels genuinely personal. The door to a bedroom for each of your teenagers. The door to a new employee who's also your neighbor. And the door to a happy and full life for you and everyone you know. This year, KeyBank has already opened over 170,000 doors, helping people get from where they were to where they wanted to be. KeyBank opens doors.
Our students don't just read books or write papers. They forge new paths and new ideas. At LECOM, we build medical professionals who excel. We create the foundation of a better world. We seek new ways to aid others. We lead the next generation. We guide the future of medicine. At LECOM, we make doctors.
For $5, you could upgrade to the sparkly sprinkle pack on Cupcake Conquest. Or you could upgrade to all this. 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. Plus, the beefy cheesy layers of the $5 Grande Stacker Box. Only at Taco Bell.
Welcome back into Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas. And Joe, we get to see you suited and booted all the time on NFL Network. But boy, I love at FirstEnergy saying when Rashard Higgins ties it on up and walks that red carpet as he did. All the guy does, it seems like, is score touchdowns, Joe.
He's a big playmaker, and it seems like him and Baker Mayfield have a great connection going back to when Baker was a rookie. So it's great to see Hollywood out there walking that red carpet with his teammates in the end zone.
And what does it mean when a guy like Hollywood, who was inactive for a couple of weeks, gets the opportunity, makes the most of it when his name and number is called?
Whenever you see a player not play for a little while, but gets his opportunity, goes out there and plays great, you know he's a hard worker that prepares each and every week like that's going to be his moment. And Hollywood Higgins, being a former teammate of mine, I can say absolutely he has a great work ethic, and he was just dying for that opportunity to get back out on the field and prove to the coaches that he deserves some more playing time, some more catches.
In other words, he is a consummate professional, and who better to put a spotlight on than a professional like Hollywood Higgins as he joins our Andrew Gribble in the Player Spotlight, brought to you by Electronic Merchant Systems.
All right, we're joined by wide receiver Rashard Higgins, and Rashard obviously had to be a great feeling to get back into the end zone Sunday against the Colts. Was that a play you knew you were getting right in there because you didn't have the coverage on you right there?
I didn't know the ball was going to actually come to me. You know, in practice, I had ran that route wrong. So, you know, we finally cleaned it up, and I was actually supposed to bend. It was a cover two look, and I supposed to bend in and be right there in the middle. Me and Baker just on the same page, and I stayed straight. He threw me the ball, and boom, here come the red carpet.
And then how much confidence did you have that when you were going to have that shot, you would thrive just because of what you've seen from this team so far offensively this season?
Oh, I knew I would just because the utmost confidence that I have in myself. You know, my confidence is out the roof. I never lack confidence, and you know, I'm playing football. I'm doing what I love, and to be out here and to play football every day and wake up and live a dream that, you know, a lot of kids and a lot of people wish they could do. I try to do it at a high level all the time. So that's what I try to prove every Sunday.
Now, Rashard, you got new coaches, but you've got the same quarterback there that you've had for the last 3 years. And one of our fans, Dustin Weaver, is asking, what is it about your connection with Baker that makes your chemistry so great regardless, no matter what you're called to do?
I really don't know how to explain like what it is. It's just like a brotherhood. You know, once you get close to a brother, it's family, you know? So, I mean, there's not too much more to say on that. It is what it is. That's my brother.
What do you like most about going to Pittsburgh and playing in that stadium?
It's just the rivalry. You know, got Joe Hayden on the other side. You know, just going against a former teammate. Not only that, but just that environment. You know, the guys from Pittsburgh hate us, and we don't like them either. I mean, whatever comes down to whatever, you know. It's just always a dogfight when we go over there, you know. So we can't wait till Sunday to see what happens.
Rashard, thanks for joining us, and good luck Sunday.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Enough with the talk. Let's see Hollywood Higgins in action as we go into the film room for this week's play breakdown presented by Microsoft Surface. And we're going to go to Hollywood Higgins' touchdown here, Joe, as we see the Browns about the 14-yard line. And what you're going to see here is you send Kareem Hunt in motion. The Browns are going to run what they call 4 verticals. You're going to see a vertical from Odell Beckham Jr. We're going to see a little post from the Chief. We're going to see a vertical from Kareem Hunt and a vertical from Hollywood Higgins. Now, the guy you want to pay attention to is right here. This is the safety, and he's going to take a little misstep, react to David Njoku, and that's going to leave Hollywood open, and Baker throws it to his back shoulder for the touchdown. Let's take a look as this play unfolds.
Yeah, I want you guys to take a look at David Njoku and the job he does occupying the safety in the bottom of your screen, because it's that little misstep by the safety in the bottom of the screen that allows Hollywood Higgins to run right up the seam, and then Baker Mayfield finds him right in stride. It doesn't take long after Hollywood Higgins catches the pass for his teammates to sprint to the end zone and join him in that Hollywood red carpet walk.
There it is, Kareem Hunt, the first one over, and they say, let me get involved with this, all the red carpet action.
This is the progress and the growth that we're seeing from Baker Mayfield each and every single week this season. If you watch the stripe on his helmet as this play goes, he's going to take a look at the Chief. And that's what forces that safety to respect the Chief in the middle of the field, worried about that high end zone throw in the middle of the field. And that's what gives Hollywood Higgins the wide open seam. And Baker Mayfield knows it from the start. At the beginning of this play, you had split safeties, which means the middle of the field is open. You've got two safeties that are deep, which allows David Njoku to take the middle of the field. One of those safeties is going to have to take him. Baker Mayfield allows his eyes to go to David, which opens up that seam for Hollywood Higgins. Perfectly called play, perfectly executed by David Njoku. Baker Mayfield with his eyes, given a little bit of eye sexiness in the middle of that field for David Njoku, giving Hollywood Higgins the glory and all the touchdown.
But Hollywood wasn't the only one to get into the end zone for the first time this year. The defense got in on the act, and it was safety Ronnie Harrison. As we look with that shift, the Browns show what they're going to do. We're going to have a cover three. Money. Mitch has this deep third for Sendejo, deep third for Denzel, and then these four, counting Kevin Johnson even down here, and these three, they're going to play a zone underneath. Keep your eyes now on Ronnie Harrison. He's got this outside zone. He's going to read it, undercut it, and he is going to go to the house when it is all said and done here.
Yeah, right here we've got three deep. That means there's going to be four underneath. When you're playing a three deep safety zone, that means you got a safety in the middle of the field, you got corners that are deep, and then you got four people underneath. So Ronnie Harrison is playing the big in-the-box safety here. He sees the crossing route, and because Phillip Rivers is getting a little bit nervous in the pocket because of the pass rush that the Browns had throughout this game, he throws late across his body, and that gives Ronnie Harrison an opportunity to read the eyes of the quarterback, undercut that route, and take it all the way into the end zone at FirstEnergy Stadium.
And that pick six, a great way to start the second half for the Browns, and a great way for Ronnie Harrison Jr. to introduce himself to Browns fans. A man who needs no introduction, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He is back next on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, when we take a look at the Browns and the Steelers.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in, getting some brownie points, or witnessing a miracle. Sorry, Jess. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell.
No matter how early you're up or how late you're running, when you start your day at Speedway, we've got what you need to have a good morning. We've got it hot, we've got it cold, we've got it sprinkled, we've got it ready. We're here to make your morning a little better, because when you get off to a better start, you go on to a better day. The official convenience store of the Cleveland Browns.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light.
Our students don't just read books or write papers. They forge new paths and new ideas. At LECOM, we build medical professionals who excel. We create the foundation of a better world. We seek new ways to aid others. We lead the next generation. We guide the future of medicine. At LECOM, we make doctors.
The door to a car you've been saving for. The door to a personal loan that feels genuinely personal. The door to a bedroom for each of your teenagers. The door to a new employee who's also your neighbor. And the door to a happy and full life for you and everyone you know. This year, KeyBank has already opened over 170,000 doors, helping people get from where they were to where they wanted to be. KeyBank opens doors.
For $5, you could upgrade to the Sparkly Sprinkle Pack on Cupcake Conquest. Or you could upgrade to all this. 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. Plus, the beefy cheesy layers of the $5 Grande Stacker Box. Only at Taco Bell.
Welcome back into Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura, the living legend, Joe Thomas, and the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, joins us once again for this week's game preview presented by Ruoff Mortgage. It's the Browns and the Steelers, but before we get in that game, Coach, saw today that Odell Beckham Jr. did not practice with an illness. What can you tell us about his status?
He was feeling under the weather, and in this environment, you really got to be very, very careful. So we sent him home, and and we'll just keep checking in on them.
Coach, Browns and Steelers this weekend. It's the biggest rivalry in Ohio. What can you tell us about the feeling going around the building right now about, does this game mean a little bit more than others?
I mean, I know it does outside this building, but I think the approach for us is it's a big game because it's the next one, and they're a really good team. We got our work cut out for us, but we can't let that seep into our preparations. We got to remember the things that we've done along the way here to get those 4 wins. We got to remind ourselves what we've done to put ourselves in position, and really that just goes back to preparation. So we're really doubling down on our preparation, making sure that we're doing everything we can to get ready for Sunday.
Coach, today's best fan question powered by FirstEnergy comes from Reddit user TyTrim89 and wants to know, do you approach game planning differently when you know you're going to see a team twice and maybe even 3 times in a season like you will with the division rival Pittsburgh Steelers?
We don't right now. Maybe you definitely do the second time you face them, but right now we're just going to try and put together a game plan to go win this one. When you play them again, then you can kind of learn from that tape what worked, what didn't, what other teams are doing. But for right now, we just got to put together the best number of plays, whatever is required to get this W.
Coach, the Steelers have often been called Blitzburgh because they like to bring that extra pressure. This year, no different. On first and second down, they're blitzing on more than 50% of their opponents' dropbacks. We lead the league in those play-action bootlegs on early downs as well. How does that blitzing, especially with the nickel back, he's got 3 sacks, Mike Hilton for them, how does that impact the play-action rollout game when you're going against a team that you know is going to bring extra guys?
They bring extra guys. It seems they're bringing 5 every play, and they're bringing them early and often throughout the game. You mentioned the nickel. He seems to be coming more often than not. When they get in their base people and they got 5 on the line of scrimmage, those 5 are coming more often than not. So there is a huge challenge there in what they do. So for us, it always goes back to what do we feel like hurts this defense and what do we feel like we do well. And there's always going to be opportunities for us in multiple ways schematically, whether we're moving the pocket, whether we're keeping the quarterback in the pocket to be able to push the ball down the field.
Coach, I love that. We're going to make them feel what we do best and keep doing that, keep rolling, and good luck on Sunday in Pittsburgh. If you think we're done on Browns Live, you're wrong. We've got a new feature for you. We're going to get Joe Thomas's final thoughts on this big game. Tell him what's going on, Joe.
Thanks, Nathan. The Browns have shown steady improvement each and every week this season. They've been growing as an offense and as a defense, but there's no bigger test than this weekend when the Browns head to Pittsburgh to face off against the hated Pittsburgh Steelers. This is where the excitement begins for this team and this new Browns team under Kevin Stefanski, and they've got an opportunity to flip the script on the Steelers. The Browns have not won since 2003, and a victory this weekend would fully state this is a new Browns team, and the old Browns that had a lot of losing in the past, it's all gone.
That's right, Joe. Great words. It is a statement game. And before we go, we want to make a statement here on Browns Live, a statement of gratitude to recognize a frontline worker who has made a tremendous impact in their community during the pandemic. Each game during the regular season, the Browns will honor this individual prior to kickoff as parts of our Hats Off to Our Heroes program. This week's hero is Annie Creator, a registered nurse who didn't hesitate to help those in need despite the fact that she was pregnant with her second child. Annie, from all of us at the Browns, we thank you. And we thank all of you, the greatest fans in the NFL, for joining us for another edition of Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Joe Thomas knows it. It's a big one. I know it. It's a big one. It's Steelers week, an opportunity to go to 5-1 and make a statement in the AFC North. And we'll have full coverage for you starting at 11 a.m. this Sunday with Browns Countdown on News 5. Again, from all of us at the Browns, thanks for watching Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy.